YouTube, how's it going? Capt DirtyBeard here, and we're back at you with another installment of quality content that nobody asked for. And you know, for years, we have been arguing what is the best controller. Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Well, today I go through what I think are my top picks for the best controllers over the years, as far as I take a few things into account. Quality, I take design, I take comfortability, how it feels in your hands, and also down at the end of the day, it's all about progress. It's all about how you advanced on from your last iteration. Now, if you like the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the community and you like what you're seeing here, please feel free to hit that subscribe. And of course, we do live stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Link right in the description below. And until the next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's rank some of the controllers from over the years really quickly. So first off, we got the new Joy-Con Switch controllers. I would say those are versatile. I like them a lot better than the Wiimotes. I feel like the Wiimote was a good iteration, but I didn't really like the nunchuck combo and the wire in between. It was really annoying. So I would probably have to put these guys up in the A or the S tier. Thinking of what's across the board for Nintendo and game changing and stuff, I'd say probably the Pro was a little bit better than this, but we're doing controllers, not consoles, so A tier. Xbox 360 controller. I think that was one of my favorite controllers, but it's not one of the best Xbox controllers, but it was a great jump up from the white and the black buttons. So I guess we're gonna have to go A tier as well. A tier for the Xbox 360 controller. That seems about fair. The Duke, the OG of OG Xbox controllers, the original Microsoft thing. This thing is flippin' massive. It was great if you had big hands. I love this thing. Always gonna hold a great spot in my heart. But, you know, it was gigantic. And they did almost immediately replace it. And I think that was a sign. So I think we might have to go C tier with Duke. Super Nintendo controller was very nice. It was a big step up because they got to double the buttons. Yeah, because the original Nintendo controller only had the A, B, and then we got the X, Y as well. I'd have to put this up in the A tier as well. That was a good classic controller. I'm starting to notice too, okay, so we don't have a Series X and we don't have a PS5 controller. Okay, so PS4 / the Switch and the Switch Pro are going to be, I think, the highest we're going to get. PS4, honestly, like out of all of the Sony controllers, I think the PS4 one was my favorite. Definitely my favorite is the PS5 because they beefed it up a little bit. And I think that's what's always been lacking a little bit, is just they just feel a little bit too small in my hands. I got big hands. Yeah, I definitely think that would be an S tier controller for sure as far as what Sony has put out. Sega Saturn. Oh, the Sega Saturn. That thing had so many freaking buttons. I remember that thing. At the time, it was phenomenal, but I think the Genesis controller was way better because the controls in game just made it a lot more simplistic. Yeah, so I think we're going to have to go C tier with the Saturn. We're going to have to go B tier with the Genesis. The Wii U. Ugh. It was the Switch before the Switch, right? It was like the ideas that they were cooking up, but they needed to bring out a console. But they weren't really ready. I wasn't a big fan of the Wii U. It's really big and awkward. We're going to have to go put this in the D tier. I was not a big fan of the Wii U. Actually, no, let's be fair. Let's put this up in the C tier. Let's be a little fair here. The PS1? Yeah, because that's the PlayStation and then the PS1. PS1, that was the big iteration. That was the first introducing with the analog sticks for Sony and for most things post toggles. So I'd have to say it's an A tier controller. S tier for the Switch Pro. I think it's really smart for Nintendo to go back to a style of controller that has buttons and everything all like that fits with the controller, has triggers and all. I like the off placement of the analog sticks. I'm an Xbox guy, so when I see controllers like that, that brings me a lot of joy. Original PlayStation controller, no analog sticks, everything. I'd say that's a B-list controller. Nothing too fancy, but it wasn't garbage. It worked with the games, but obviously anything with the analog sticks, you're going to have a way better time. You disagree with the original Xbox is C tier. Oh, the Duke? I feel like it was great for people who had bigger hands, but if you didn't have bigger hands, it was really hard to play with, and I feel like they had to immediately switch to this guy here. Like, I love the Duke, but it was massive controller, and then they switched the white and black buttons to the bottom, so they were a bit easier to hit when you were playing. We can agree to disagree. That is no problem. We got the PS2 controller. Honestly, nothing fancy. Like from PS1 to PS2, there wasn't anything much extra that they added to it, so I'm gonna have to put it at a B tier. because PS1 takes the A. Fair. I have larger hands. I do have larger hands too, yeah, but there was a lot of people, like a lot of the Sony players that, like, I think that's why people didn't like Xbox, because apart from like the joysticks being off and some people don't like it, if they have smaller hands or a lot of kids are trying to play games and you have the big freaking Duke, it was pretty hard to game. But yeah, I'd have to say B tier for the PS2 because they didn't really add much from the PS1. All of the iteration came here, and then they just changed the color. And honestly, the cords for the Sony controllers used to be so short. Oh, the GameCube. GameCube controller. GameCube was an amazing system. I loved it. And that thing was like a brick. You could literally, like, it was almost indestructible. Took a lot to take those things out. Controllers were definitely funky. They tried to do some, because like you got to think it was the step after the 64. A lot of things with it. I have to put this A tier. It was a fun controller. The OG Nintendo worked for what it worked. For like classic alone, A list, I guess. Or is it B? I think it's a high B. N64's got to be an S tier. I loved that thing. No one knew how to hold it. It was phenomenal. Apart from the stick usually kind of getting a little broken if you went too hard on it. Those were pretty fun. Dreamcast. I don't know how I feel about the Dreamcast. It was a very short-lived system. Controller was really weird and awkward. I think the wire was on the bottom too. Yeah, it's a D-list controller. It was really awkward. Wii as well. I was not a big fan of the Wii controllers. The rear trigger was the best on the 64. Yes. Yeah, they had the Z button down on the back. It was great. Wii, like, they were good. It wasn't too fancy. I found the Wii was kind of really annoying to play sometimes. That's why I like the Switch, how they adapted and changed everything. The wire in between got really annoying, and the fact that it's attached to each of your wrists, it just became a whole lot. Wireless? Yeah, wireless. Okay, yeah, we'll go for Sony. It was no, but I still don't like the controller. It's a high A tier when they finally went wireless because their controllers suck because the wires are so short. Original Xbox, I'd say above the Duke. It's got to be, that's B. And then S tier for the Xbox, because I think that was the best Xbox controller that they've made thus far, next to obviously like the Elite or a Scuff controller.